rose up en masse and rioted severely. I saw it on TV from the confines of the house where I was living on Happy Valley Road, and I think it's in Sunol. Anyway, that was May 21st. Now, that was May 21st, 1979. Now, I'm going to throw out a couple of dates that probably seem to have no relevance at all, and numbers that may seem to have no relevance at all. One, Pope John Paul II became the head of the Catholic Church. I mean, it's a Church of St. Peter on October 16th, 1978. Another thing, he was formally inaugurated as Pope, as Pontiff, on October 22nd, 1978. Sometime in November, I wasn't quite sure on that. I don't think I have the date written down, but there was the Jim Jones massacre in Guyana. 909 followers killed themselves by drinking cyanide-laced grape Kool-Aid. All right. Now see other factors. There has been a movement in 2011, probably announced as early as 2010, that a certain church or group of believers seemed to think that the world would end, the rapture would occur on May 21st, 2011. It didn't happen. Nobody saw anybody leave. That doesn't mean they didn't leave. It just said nobody saw them leave. And I say that with no hint of irony or sarcasm. I swear. So anyway, and then the basic fundamental group, the adherents to that apocalyptic vision, say that on October 21st, 2011, the world will physically end, literally cease to be. All right, that's interesting. So, October 21st is interesting in a lot of ways. If you move back in time, you say, I'm going to mark October 21, 1978, and then I'm going to move forward in time to October 21, 2011. How many years is that? Well, I know I'm not good at math, but if I was good, I would suggest that it's more than 30 years. It's probably 40 years. Let's see, 78, 88, 98, 2008, 33 years. Interesting. 33 is important in Christian theology because according to Christian theology, that is the Holy Script, Christ lived to be 33. I think he lived to be 33 and a third. And then he was crucified. But then he rose again in 3 days, and the rest is history. So, I throw out these dates and these times and also my activities. Now I'm at Russell Street and Miller Street. The sun is to my left. I'm looking right, I'm looking left. Now I'm going to turn around. So now I'm walking south on Miller Street. I'm walking past the Wenatchee Senior High School, which evidently their mascot is the Panthers. Anyway, so I'm making this long, drawn-out video for one express purpose, in that I know exactly where the bodies are buried, who buried the bodies, why they buried the bodies, and more importantly, how the whole thing works. The issue that I have, I've related this to people in power. I mean, way up in the mount, the highest powers, that being knowledgeable of something is not the same as knowing what your place in this something is, except I have some function. The reason I say that is because on the 21st of August at about 5 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, in a very dark place, I had a vision. I saw the Holy Script. It came to me literally everywhere. I was flooded with it. It was all around me. It was like a giant tornado of information, a hurricane of information, something you can't even imagine. It lasted for quite a long time. The after effects lasted probably several hours. Finally, it subsided. Now, I have to tell you this. I am very close to something. And of course, you know what my main job is. My main job is to protect humanity. More importantly, to protect humanity in nations such as the United States and or allied nations. But in reality, my job is to protect the earth. And you say the earth doesn't need protecting. Oh, yes it does. But of course, my main partner in all this is the President of the United States, my beloved leader, Barack Hussein Obama. I know, because I have seen him, and I know he is with me on this. So anyway, I got messages from the CIA encoded to that effect, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And also verifying a lot of this information, which I'm kind of putting out tongue-in-cheek. So, as I approach the living room, which is an interesting name, I know when I go in, they'll look at me, they'll say, "What have you been doing?" And I say, "I've been walking. I walked up this way, I walked down that way, and I walked back up this way." And I use this video recording to show that that's in fact what I was doing. Nothing more, nothing less. I can't use this video on YouTube unless I trim it, maybe cut it in half, because it's too lengthy. You're limited to 15 minutes on YouTube. But if you divide it in half, you get approximately 7 minutes plus 7 minutes. Now remember, what is the most important mathematical rule? The order of operations, of course. There has to be an order of operations. It's not a convention. It's almost like a constant, like pi. Pi is defined, at least in this world, or this universe, as 3.1415926535, and then it goes 8979. And after that, it gets murky. But remember, many Nephilim have decided to negotiate a partial peace. But this is a ruse. Do not be deceived. They do not want to surrender. They want it all. They want God to surrender. They actually gave a message out to that effect. So, that being said, there is zero chance that this thing's going to end well. And of course, I have people on skateboards approaching me. 2 young men, 1 young man. I don't know. See, the thing is, the real term is demon monkeys. But don't tell that to anybody, because they don't want to know. End of message.